Welcome to the Forbes Video Network. I'm David M. Ewalt. Can you hear that noise? It's the sound of millions of Apple fanatics vibrating with anticipation over the brand new Apple iPhone. Yes, it's finally official. This morning at the Macworld Expo in San Francisco, Apple CEO Steve Jobs introduced the iPhone, a widescreen iPod, a mobile phone, a camera, and an internet browser all rolled into one device. Here to discuss the announcement and all of Apple's news is Forbes.com tech reporter Dan Fromer. So, Dan, bottom line, Steve Jobs is calling this thing an iPod, a phone, and an internet mobile communicator. Is anyone going to want to buy it?
Well, from what I hear, people are already very excited about it. It does a few things very well. First of all, most Apple products and this one, very elegantly designed. If you look at the phone, it's classy, it's sleek, it fits into the paradigm that we see right now of classy kind of fashion phones that, from Motorola and other handset manufacturers. So it looks good, number one. Number two, it does something that no other phone company seems to be able to do, which is put a really, really slick interface into the cell phone. You know, the demos that you see on the site, Steve Jobs' demo today, it really looks like it's fun to use and it makes sense.
It's all gesture-based. You're actually touching the screen, moving things around, kind of dragging like it's a touchscreen computer.
And he's right. A lot of these sophisticated phones from other manufacturers are hard to use. And it seems like Apple's done what they did with the computer, add dragging and dropping and visual stuff into the phone to make it a lot easier to use than some of its competitors.
Right. Touching a screen, though, might work if it's a touch screen like in a museum or if it's on a tablet PC. This is something you're carrying around in your pocket all the time. I mean, is that touch screen going to hold up?
It's a bet. You know, we're not sure. I don't know how it's going to work in the rain. I don't know how it's going to work when it's sitting on your face all day. You're going to have to clean the touch screen after you hold it up to your cheek for half an hour. These are things we'll see, I guess, as it gets into the market. But I'm sure they tested this stuff out. This is a company that tests stuff ad nauseum.
They do have a reputation for having really strong user interfaces. I mean, the click wheel when it first came out with the first generation iPods, people weren't sure about that thing either, but it proved to work, and people have gotten used to that interface too.
Yeah.
You know, the other thing that Steve is really touting about this device is the internet connectivity. It's got Wi-Fi. It's got obviously the cellular connection through Singular Cellular Network. Do you think that mobile connection, that internet thing, is people going to want to use that? It will be a selling point.
Well, the Wi-Fi is nice. It's something that some of its competitors don't have. Palm's latest Trio, Motorola's Q, the Samsung Blackjack. These things lack Wi-Fi. Right now, a lot of people have Wi-Fi in their homes. A lot of people go to the cafe and use Wi-Fi. However, this is a 2-year contract. This phone lacks two things. One, support for a 3G network. It's using an older Singular network that's more widespread. It's not as fast, but people can use it in more places. They're betting that that's going to be offset by the Wi-Fi. But what we're going to see next year and in the years coming forward, maybe not from Singular, but from other vendors, is WiMAX, other 4G networks that are a lot faster. So far, the iPhone that you got a 2-year contract for doesn't support those things.
Well, you have a point there, and I think it's one that's going to resonate with the real geeky tech users and the big phone fanatics, but I think most consumers, especially the ones who are just kind of casual iPod users, are going to see this device as, wow, this is really pretty. It's got this cool touch screen. I can kind of show off to my friends that I've got this nice device. And I think they won't really care that it's not on Edge network. Most people, or that it is only on Edge. Most people don't care about the high speed, don't know about it.
Sure, but most people don't spend $500, $600 on a cell phone anymore. They want something that if they lose it in the cab, they're not going to go home and cry over it.
Well, you've got a good point there. The iPod, wasn't the only news this morning. After the break, we'll talk about what other surprises Steve Jobs had in his bag of tricks. Join us after the break. Welcome back to the Forbes Video Network. I'm David Ewalt, and with me is Dan Fromer. Dan, the other big announcement this morning was Apple TV. This is the device that was teased last fall. Now it's actually got a date. It's coming out. What do you make of the product?
That's right. $300, available next month. It's neat. A lot of people are buying stuff off iTunes. Steve Jobs said 2 billion songs sold, 50 million TV shows, and 1.3 million movies in the first 4 months.
Right. So the point of this box is it's going to stream those videos you bought online from your computer to your nice high-definition television.
Exactly, and it's going to do it in HD, and it's going to do it either with or without wires, depending on how you want to do it.
All right, so it's a kind of cool device, but does anybody really want to do that? Is there a big enough market for people to stream that video?
It's tricky. There's going to be a ton of competitors. Every consumer electronics company, every computer company is in this business right now. Even video card makers are in this business of putting stuff from your computer to your TV. It could work. I mean, Apple has a lot of cachet with iTunes. People are buying a lot of stuff off there, and if it's the only option, people might buy it. The only other thing though is for a couple more $100, you get a Mac Mini, and you have all those features and a computer, a full computer that you can hook up to your TV too. So
all right,
we'll
so
see.
Apple TV, interesting, maybe not a home run. What did not happen this morning that you would have liked to see? Were there announcements that didn't happen that you're still anticipating?
Well, in 3 weeks, Microsoft is going to take the covers off Vista. We didn't see anything about Apple's next version of Mac OS X. That could be troubling, or that could just say that Steve Jobs has a whole other presentation
Bigger
prepared
fish to
for
fry,
that.
maybe, yeah. Well, I myself was hoping to see maybe some big screen TVs. There were some rumors about that maybe Apple was going to come out with its own high-def television. Didn't happen, but who knows, maybe down the road.
Yeah, could be soon. They need to update their monitors too. And the other thing that I was kind of hoping for was a very small laptop. The iPhone, yeah, sure, it does the internet, but it's not a computer.
So maybe sometime soon, though. All right, we'll leave it there. Dan, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm David M. Ewalt, and joining me has been Forbes.com tech reporter Dan Fromer. For more on Apple's big news and all kinds of other tech coverage, visit Forbes.com and click on the technology section.